Hi guys, welcome to another interesting episode on your favorite YouTube channel. You know how we do it, right? Kindly hit the like and subscribe buttons as they go a long way in helping us serve you better. BMW knows how to make a stir with their designs. Most recently, they attracted notoriety with the new 4 Series, M3 and M4, by increasing the double kidney grille size. The purpose of these models is to get the people talking and for the driver to stand out in the company car park. But the 7 Series is different. BMW's flagship luxury saloon is meant to blend in and shepherd its passengers from point A to B in comfort, elegance, and if required, with haste. Having successfully achieved this since 1977 across generations in petrol, diesel, and hybrid guises, this generation will likely be the last to see an internal combustion engine and the first to see one of 9 new electric models, the i7. So let's get into the review fully. Spy shots over the last year have shown what is believed to be both the 2023 7 Series and its all-electric twin, the i7. These vehicles are heavily disguised, but two things remain patently clear. Firstly, the trademark double kidney grille has once again increased in size. However, it is not thought to have as extensively grown as it has on the current M3 and M4, thus maintaining the understated demeanor of the 7 Series. Interesting speculative renders have portrayed this front grille as considerably narrower, which leads us on to the second notable design feature: the headlights. Perhaps drawing inspiration from the 7 Series stablemate, the Rolls-Royce Ghost, or the original E23 7 Series, they appear to be more rectangular and boxed off, and placed closer to the ground than in recent generations. This may be BMW attempting to rock the design boat once again and attract media attention for innovative and controversial design. But when this chassis is used for such an iconic and significant model like the Ghost, it is hard to see that it will step too far away from conventions. These design motifs continue through the rear, with the rectangular taillights indicating a unique design language for the next generation of 7 Series. This is a big deal. BMW vehicles, since the turn of the millennium, moved more toward uniformity, as was common across many manufacturers, with only the Bengal BMWs breaking from the design consensus across the BMW models that ran through from the E46 3 Series and the original X5 to the G30 5 Series. Over recent years, this trend toward more diverse designs within the BMW lineup began with the new F40 1 Series and continued with the previously mentioned revised 4 Series and the M lineup. The 2023 7 Series continues this revolution, committing BMW to this design movement from which we can only hope refreshing designs are to come. There are no confirmed technical specifications for the 2023 7 Series. However, the BMW engine selection is often very predictable. Expect the most affordable options to be a diesel and a hybrid for the company car buyers, producing somewhere in the region of 250 horsepower, with more powerful diesel and petrol engines coming at a premium. The brand is moving towards electrification. However, in March, they committed to the continued development of internal combustion engines, so there may be a successor to the adored 750i. It is understood that BMW will launch an i7 saloon that shares the same body around the same time as the 2023 7 Series, as electric test mules have been spotted testing. The i4 differs greatly in design from the 4 Series. The greater parity between the 7 Series and i7 indicates towards the integration of BMW's electric cars into their series range, a significant step in the brand's history that indicates its intentions of embracing EVs further. With each generation of new luxury vehicles, it becomes harder to imagine what technology could come next. It's a reasonable bet to say that the features being introduced on the iX will make their way onto the 7 Series. So this includes the new 12.3-inch instrument cluster, 14.9-inch central display, minimalistic switchgear, and the new generation of iDrive controls. Let's take a few seconds to cool the brain. Are you a BMW freak? Well, that's a good thing. But don't be like the lawyer who was getting out of his BMW when a semi rolled by and took the open door clean off. A nearby cop saw all of this and ran over. The lawyer immediately started screaming and gesticulating about the value of his Beamer and how much it's going to cost him to get it fixed. The cop loses his patience and says, "You lawyers are so materialistic. All you care about is money." The lawyer became incensed and said, "How dare you call me materialistic? Do you know what I earn an hour? You have no idea what kind of pressure I'm under." The cop says, "Well, you're so concerned about your Beamer, you didn't notice the truck took your arm off at the elbow." The lawyer looks down and screams, "Fuck! My Rolex!" Let's get back into it. The steering wheel is also quite interesting with its industrial-looking metallic lower spoke adorned by the M badge at the bottom. We're not entirely sure, but the lateral spokes appear to incorporate touch-sensitive controls. Look closer and you will notice the sides of the steering wheel's rim have curved ornamentation unless that part has a functional role and lights up when the autonomous driving system is active. The lower center console area hosting the iDrive controller doesn't look as fancy as it does in the iX, but it's important to point out we are dealing with a prototype. It is fairly obvious in another image showing the 7 Series interior where the central armrest looks rather cheap, as does the rest of the center console, but you're not going to find that in the final production car. The rumored BMW has better integrated exhaust tips, but the spy photographs confirm that both of these models have a combustion engine under the hood. The previous run-ins with the car have been the all-electric i7 variant, so this is the first tangible evidence that the ICE version is also in development. As for the mule with the silver wheels, those exhaust pipes are enlarged for testing purposes, making them look much smaller in production guise. Unfortunately, both models tested are still heavily camouflaged, so it isn't easy to see what the new model will look like. The headlights and taillights look completely different from anything BMW currently offers, though those could be there to fool us from seeing the final design. BMW's inclusion in developing a multi-energy platform will continue to pay dividends when the company introduces its next generation 7 Series in the early 2020s. BMW chairman Oliver Zipse also confirmed that the next 7 would be offered with petrol and diesel combustion engines, plug-in hybrid options, and electric powertrains. He stopped short of providing technical details, but we learned the battery-powered model would be the most powerful member of the range, and it would be in line to slot in on top of the combustion engine variant. The unnamed zero-emission 7 will use BMW's 5th generation electric technology, which will also power the i4 and iNext, and it will go up on the same platform as the other versions. This means the Munich-based company will theoretically be able to build every 7 on the same assembly line regardless of what it's supported by. Another point with a question mark hovering over it is what a panoply plugless petrol and diesel combustion engine would look like. By 2020, 7 buyers can choose from 6, 8, and 12 cylinder options. The straight 6 will almost certainly make a comeback. The V8 will likely too. But the fate of the mighty V12 is murky at best. The Electric 7 is one of the 25 electric models, including more than 12 fully electric cars, BMW plans to release in 2023. It will not have a monopoly on the segment, however, as it will need to fend off competition from Mercedes-Benz EQS, due to come out in the coming years. It will be positioned as an electric alternative to the S-Class, not as an electric S-Class, and will wear a special model design inspired by the Vision EQS concept. The current generation 7 Series will retire in 2022, meaning its successor could enter production by the end of that year. We can't imagine BMW will go long without a flagship. It may not arrive in American showrooms until the 2023 model year, and it is unclear whether all 4 types of powertrains will be offered at launch. When BMW first facelifted the G11 7 Series, the new design was controversial, to put it mildly. Its terrible grid seems to polarize much of the fanbase. However, one aspect that looks better than the fresh-faced Series 7 is its new light design. As it turned out, BMW seemed to think it could improve its lights even further, as it was only given another face update car, which only caught testing in the wild. In some new spy photos, we get to see the new BMW 7 Series with some tweaks to the light design, as evidenced by the camouflage on them. Although we don't know exactly how these lights will change, we know that they will get some small changes. There are also some very small changes to the backlights, judging by the camo on them in these photos. That could make sense because it would be silly to do headlights and not backlights. We wonder how drastic these changes can be, as camouflage is rather small on both. Apparently, BMW feels that the changes are big enough to warrant spending money, even if they seem insignificant at the moment. We really knew this was coming for a while, but we didn't know there was another change. As far as we know, this is just a very small additional refresh, with just a few tweaks on both sets of lights. However, we know for sure that this will be a refresher on the current model and not the next generation of cars. The next generation BMW 7 Series is not due until 2022-2023. This generation of 7 Series will more than likely be the last generation of fossil fuel-powered luxury land yachts. A farewell to opulence and excess whilst regulations creep in and remove them from the roads. This generation is vital to how BMW places itself in the next era of transportation. They'll either flourish as the ultimate driving machine or lose out on success to the likes of Tesla and Polestar. The 7 Series is a big deal to BMW as a brand, their future as a manufacturer, and will usher in the transition away from fossil fuels. My brother said this to me yesterday. I take a BMW back from school every day. Huh? Well, first I take the bus, then I take the MRT, and finally I walk. Combining the first letters, you have BMW. And that's a wrap. Thank you for staying till the end of this video. Let's not let it end here. Move down to the comments section and let's have your thoughts on the 2023 BMW 7 Series. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you've not done that. And most importantly, hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos.